Welcome to the Back to Me podcast, where we help multicultural incoming freshman women and men manage their entire college experience throughout post-graduation to successfully transition into entrepreneurship and corporate workspaces as new hires.
Back to me. Oh, I turned it around. I'm back to me. I finally figured it out. I'm back to me. So when you think you have nothing, back to me. I go back to me. Yeah, I'm back to me.
Welcome to my first solo episode as host of the Back to Me podcast. With another year starting and 100+ episodes in my catalog, I've decided to devote one solo podcast a month to share topics that I feel passionate about, so you'll get a better feel for my voice. After featuring many guests on a broad range of themes and topics, I'm taking a leap of faith to talk about the workshop theme that I developed, titled Be Bold, Be Brave, Be You. This title really defines my mission as an educator, a motivator, and a podcast host. Being bold represents an acronym for topics within my workshop series. B is for bathing in the aftermath of your emotional triggers so that you can use those experiences as lessons that only make you stronger. O is for owning your invincible status so that you can communicate your needs with others. L is for loving the skin you're in so that you truly want to take care of your mind, body, and spirit. And D represents developing your network so that you can pay it forward and be a change agent in the world. Being brave requires you to have the courage to explore these things so that you can ultimately be you and recognize your authentic voice. So, we're back to school, and it's a great time to remind you to get back to you. Starting a new year at college is always filled with anxiety, apprehension, and plenty of high expectations. Getting off on the right foot is crucial. So, for this first episode, I have 5 tips that will help you be bold, be brave, and ultimately be you as you start this first semester or quarter for some of you. Number 1, carve out some personal time in your schedule for you every day. Yes, you need to be added to that schedule. If that means pulling out your cell phone and calendaring a time to walk, to meditate, do yoga, listen to music, take a long shower, get your nails done, or even get a haircut, add it to your phone now. It sounds strange, but you'll thank me later. When I think about myself as a college student, I was terrified to be so far away from home, but I didn't want my parents to know. After all, I was a grown up, right? I was excited to be there, but I had no idea what was in store for me. I was anxious and didn't sleep well most nights because I was always nervous about what the next day would bring. I spent hours wondering if my professors would like me, if my roommate thought I was cool, if I was going to even make it through my classes. There was always a lot to think about. My mind stayed occupied. Fortunately, my professors were very approachable, and my friends were just as scared as I was and anxious to meet new people. Slowly but surely, I started to settle into college and enjoy the ride. I eventually learned that it was important to make space in my head for the good things, the things that I enjoyed. Scheduling time for myself became so important. My mind, body, and spirit took top priority. So make those things a priority right away. You won't be able to get much done if you neglect yourself. As a matter of fact, that is the reason Back to Me became a motto of mine that eventually led to this podcast. So schedule you on that calendar. The more time you find to spend alone, you will develop thoughts and interests that will eventually turn into personal standards for yourself. You'll begin to learn what brings you joy so you can share those discoveries with the people you want to have in your life. Number 2, decide that you deserve to be where you are and make it count. Everyone prepares you for the academics, but not many prepare you for the journey of adulting. When my mother dropped me off at college, I cried. But I hid it from the girls in the dorm. Some of them were ready to party, and I wasn't sure if there was anything to party about. But I mustered up the courage to go out and meet new people when I decided that I deserved to be where I was. I worked hard to be there. I deserve that opportunity. So as you take on this new semester, know that you deserve this opportunity. Show up and show out. If not for anyone else, do it for yourself. You already completed 4 years of education in high school, and now you're in higher education. To whom much is given, much is required, right? So recognize that you had the capacity to complete one level so that you could arrive at this one. You deserve to be here and experience all that this new level has to offer. Now, it's been said with new levels come new devils. Have you heard that phrase before? Well, if so, let it roll off your back. Life is full of challenges. Obstacles are to be expected. None of us know what tomorrow will bring. So build your resiliency by welcoming them now. Meet them head on and find out what you're made of. Some people run to the gym for that physical workout so they can be strong and build muscle, but only the truly committed take time to consider the value of an even stronger mindset. Think about it. When you say yes to new experiences or new goals that may make you nervous, you immediately grow in that instance because you decided to step forward, to test your willpower and your belief in yourself. You decided to give yourself a chance. The worst thing that can happen is that you discover the experience was not for you. And that's a good thing because that means you're beginning to discover what resonates with you and what does not, even when you give it a try. So be sure to make a note of why that experience didn't work for you. Be clear about what did not align with your belief system or your idea of something worthwhile. When you do this, your ability to discern what's best for your well being reveals itself. And if you get rejected after you said yes to a new experience, well, know that can happen too. But it doesn't have to stop you from being open to the next great thing. Let the lessons unfold, and day by day, you'll get one step closer to understanding and appreciating you. After all, that's the real goal. Number three, be prepared to accept the consequences of your mistakes. Consequences, yes. There are some things you're going to have to find out for yourself. Experience is always the greatest teacher. We are all uniquely made, and therefore we all respond differently to situations. Our cultural backgrounds and hidden traumas often dictate our response, even when we have the best of intentions. Somehow, we all end up making some decisions that are not always in our best interest. So, do not feel alone when you find yourself dealing with the consequences of your actions. Give yourself some grace, use better judgment next time, and be courageous enough to acknowledge your mistakes. You know you could have done better, so say so. You will garner more respect for your honesty than you would if you would look for a way to blame someone else. Take responsibility and you will be respected. At the end of the day, the respect you earn from others is worth far more than anything you will ever do. Once you admit your mistakes, think about how you could have done better and what solutions might help the situation from happening again. Pay attention to the way you communicate with others. Do you listen to gain wisdom or insight on how to improve? Do you recognize how your actions affected the other person? Do you even care? If so, you're on the right track. Be solution oriented every time, and you will develop strong relationships that will be built on trust and admiration. Number four, get to know your inner voice and allow it to guide you. I discovered a powerful voice within myself during my senior year in college. This inner voice guides me in all my decision making. I recognize it as my higher power or God speaking to me to help me navigate through this life. Have you ever had an out of body experience when you felt as if you were watching yourself? In this life, there will be times when an inner voice will come forth and tell you you're going to be okay. And somehow you're going to believe it. This powerful voice will protect you and convince you that all will be well, regardless of your circumstances. I fell in love with the comfort of it and wanted to hear from it more often. So I learned how to meditate by sitting still and listening for a comforting voice to reassure me anytime I felt unsure or afraid in this life. I encourage you to develop the practice of sitting still for at least 20 minutes a day. Yep, 20 minutes a day. Don't look for anything to happen. Just breathe and focus on your heartbeat. Notice how it beats without your assistance. Its consistency can lead you to a state of calm that will help you clear your mind. Your heartbeat will speed up or slow down. Either way, as long as you're alive, it won't stop. That scientific fact is the very spiritual fact that guides my belief system in something greater than myself that will never stop looking out for me. I wish this very thing for you. This spiritual presence I am referring to will show up differently for everyone, but its consistency exists and will never stop protecting you, whether you are aware of it or not. So I encourage you to get to know it. It has saved me from suffering overwhelming anxiety on so many occasions. Just be still and know that just as your heartbeat never stops, the powerful voice that lives in you will never stop speaking. So seek it out. You'll be glad you did. And finally, number 5, step out of your comfort zone and join a student organization. You're in college now, and many of you are away from home. It's time to make some memories. Is there something you've always wanted to do? There just might be a student club for it. Do you want to get involved in politics? Do you enjoy attending visual and performing arts events, sporting activities, or even exercise clubs that may motivate you to prioritize your health? Write a small bucket list and visit your school website to see if you can find like minded students seeking similar adventures. While scheduling personal alone time is important, taking an adventure or joining a debate team can also be quite exhilarating. Challenge yourself and face your fears. You'll learn so much about yourself and how other people navigate different types of situations. You may even run into someone who has similar career goals and knowledge about upcoming internships. So create a network and make friends that you may not have normally met in the classroom. Student organizations introduce you to students of different cultures from around the world, and they give you an opportunity to develop your communication skills, your listening skills, and even your leadership skills in some scenarios. Take inventory of the people you meet. Do they inspire you or distract you from accomplishing your goals? Once you figure that out, remember to ask for what you need. Your time is too valuable to spend with detractors or the unequally yoked folks that you will also come across. So use your time wisely. Identify the detractors and separate yourself from them right away. So, those are my 5 tips to help you get a jump start so that you can be bold, be brave, and be you. College is the best place to find your voice and meet people who may turn out to be lifelong friends. As you grow, the friendships will become so valuable to your life. Trust me when I say you will never walk alone and you will always have someone who took the journey with you. Cherish the time you spent together and continues to celebrate your wins and your losses. If you're listening for the first time and you are not familiar with me or our podcast, please go to our website for more information to listen to our previous episodes. Learning from the experience of experts will save you some time and help you build a strong future you can be proud of. To those of you who have continued to support our podcast, thank you. We are grateful for you. Your support and suggestions for new topics lets us know we are doing something pretty special. So tune in next month and we'll discuss why sharing vulnerability is key to your success in college and in the workforce. I will have some more valuable tips that I hope bring you one step closer to achieving your goals this year. So stay tuned. And for my final words of encouragement, I challenge you to show up for yourself first. Know you are valued, even when it doesn't feel like it. You are protected, even when you can't see the covering. And finally, you are needed because there is no one on this earth made in your image. You're an original, and your thoughts and ideas have the power to shift the consciousness of so many. So take your life seriously because I do. For more information about other episodes, remember to subscribe to the Back to Me podcast, College and Beyond. I'm your host, Yoli Tamu. Leave a review at the end of this podcast, and if you would like to learn more about other special events, join the Back to Me podcast Facebook group, or simply text Back to Me to 833-206-4565. Until next time, be well.
Back to me.